Alright guys, it's Mike with Pacific Tech. I'm here with this 04 and it's a Kia Sorento, and it's the truck. It's with the 3.5 and cylinder 1, 3, and 5 misfire. Customer state spark plugs were changed out, which verified spark plugs were changed out. Said he played for new coils and wires. The wires are old, coils look new, but there was a problem with the coils, and I want everybody to see what I'm doing, and this is why we professionals make money and the other ones don't. Yeah, you guys, I'm all the way at the bottom. There's no wrench at the ends for me to say I'm putting enough torque for me to spin it all the way around. And so that you guys see, hopefully the camera can pick up the creases here. I'm trying to zoom it or get it to focus, but I'm spinning it and you can see the letterings, and I'm spinning it by hands. It's all the way bottomed out. So in my investigation for this one, pulled out, and sure and behold, what do you see? Look, man, everyone wants to use these impact tools and air tools and pneumatic tools, anything that makes their job, quick and easy. You guys got to stop, slow down a little bit. It's the reason why we made hand tools, and this is for this reason and this reason alone. Customer, on top of paying, the hourly rate, now has to pay me to come out here and fix this, and that's not cool. That he has to pay twice. He paid the shop, and now he pays me to come out here and do this. Brand new coils, and there is no way in hell all 3 coils can be damaged. The only way you damage these coils if you don't ground them properly, which they sit down on the valve cover and they get tightened down so that this action don't happen right here. I can move it up and down, and you're driving, the motor is vibrating, and this one does it more. Look. Look, I'm tired of cleaning up, and mind you, I'm in Sacramento, California. I'm in the south side, so I'm not going to name the shop or anything, but look, you guys need to slow down a little bit. I understand you guys want to do things fast, and we get paid by the hour. But slow down a little bit, man. This is an electronic components. Customer paid money for it, man. This is not cheap, and sad to say, come on now. I don't know if you're jerking the customer around, if you're cleaning it, and then putting it in. Like I said, don't cheat the customer. Do things the right way. Don't go and say, oh, just drive it and the codes will clear out. That's not going to happen. Cylinder, he got a PO 305, 303, and 301. Cylinder 1, 3, and 5 is misfiring. Nothing else. And we come all the way back down, and this one, it controls, this is cylinder 2, that controls number 3, I believe. Cylinder 4 controls number 1, and cylinder 6 controls, I believe, number 3, if I'm correct. Don't quote me on it, but that's the way I think it was. The middle one was number 1, the one over here was the center, and that one was the last one. On top of that, make sure that the coil is fully seated and injected. And we're talking about the inside part. And I have to do this. And the only reason why I'm doing this is because you guys today don't know how to do things no more. We older ones are cleaning up after the young ones, man. And you young ones are making the money. Make sure that this right here is inserted into the coil. Don't go and just think that because the boot went on that this is not inserted. Make sure that this makes contact inside. If it's sitting out like this and this will never make contact, and it will never fire off. And if it does fire off, it's so weak that it will never send the full current that that spark plug needs. And the other thing, if you guys trying to figure out how to do a test on spark plugs, if you got one of these coils, or even the coil that you saw, the wire or coil, put it on the spark plug, grab your jumping cable, connect, and do like this. I mean, don't put this right here. You don't want one, you just want this on the spark plug itself. And something like I have it on the ground down there. One of the things that you want to do is make sure that it's firing before you root anything out. And this is my simple way. You don't need any special tools or anything. This is a simple way for you to find out if it's actually firing. If the coil will fire, all you got to do is just put it right there, get an old spark plug, stick it in there, or the new one that you're going to replace it with, stick it in there, turn the car on. If that thing is sparking and firing, you know that's not it. Then you go to the injector and see if the injectors are misfiring, which I very much doubt, but you never know because the injectors are underneath all this right here. So for him to do that, he had to disconnect or damage one of these main wires, and I pretty much doubt. Nothing looks very damaged besides, right here, but again, I pretty much doubt it. So this is how I do a simple test of the spark plug. Nothing, fancy, no fancy tools or anything. We got jumping wires in our car, and if you don't have this in your car, that's one of the main things that you should have in your car at all times, regardless of anything. You guys put oil in the car, you guys buy gas, you guys put water, you guys buy those air freshener things and trying to keep your car clean, and you guys wax it and everything. Well, this is an essential tool that you should have in your car at all times. They're called jumping cables. So, now back to this. So now I have to go and grab some wire, and hopefully I can stick it down there, or try to stick something a little bit bigger and see if it catches and I can cut new threads into it. But I'm also going to ground each coil to a grounding point and make sure that each coil has a ground, so that way I know that each coil can fire. But due to him driving probably like this for a good time, and it's been I think it was almost like a week and a half, almost 2 weeks that I haven't seen the customer, and now I'm working on the car. So think about the damage that it done to the coil, and he may have to replace all 3 of them, and that's not good. So remember, take your time, use hand tools, don't use those tools right there. Sorry, I don't know. Oh, I don't know what happened. Sorry, don't use these for this. Do not use any of these electronic tools. There's a reason, and again, I'm going to say it, there's a reason why we made a wrench, and specifically for this. If you tie in that thing down more than, 8 newtons, mind you, 8 newton, you're over tightening it. All you have to do is snug it down with your hands, man. Putting an air tool to it, or one of those impact tools or wrenches, this is what you do. You strip. So now, if the customer really needed to fix this the proper way, without me, Mickey Mousing it, I have to rip the intake off, to take the valve cover off, to replace it with a new valve cover because the dummy strip it, or go in there with a die and tap set and go in there and try to bore out a bigger hole. So slow yourself down, man. Use the proper tools that we recommend you use, all right? Especially when you're tightening it. Torque wrench. Since you guys want to use, all these expensive tools, well, a torque wrench. My Snap-on is a $800 torque wrench. Use that. If you can't afford the $800, it's a $200 one, which is the Cobalt or the Craftsman. Use that. Easy, simple. Come on, guys. Don't be, brutes. You're costing the customer more money, and they getting pissed off, and this is why customers do not return back to you guys, because you do things the wrong way. Customers get a vibe, and if they get a bad vibe from you, game over. This is why I work for myself. I don't work for a shop or anybody. For myself, because I rather deal with the customer one-on-one, technician to customer, than technician to salesperson who's trying to upsell whatever I wrote. Even if I say this is wrong right here, you have to redo it, but say the customer just only want me to do this and that's it. I'm only going to get paid for this, even though I know this is wrong, but I do write it down. Hey, this is wrong. I tell the customer, he has to replace this soon. He's okay with it. I'm only getting paid for this, not this. But they want to upsell it. Here, we got to do this. And customers get tired of that. They get tired. Sometimes this is not, an important thing for them. That is. And that takes priority, especially today, money-wise, man. Come on, guys. You're costing them money, and you're costing yourself money, because now you lost a customer that will never return to you because of this bullshit you guys did. And I'm pretty sure you guys used one of those tools to go and tighten this down, or you lost the screws, because I see one over here, and that one has a star on the head. I don't know if you guys can see that. It won't let me turn on the lights, but that one has a star on the head. So that tells me right there, you guys lost screws, you guys mismatched it, and you guys don't know what you're doing. So make sure you cover your 6. And even when I used to work for other people, I covered my 6. Make sure that when I touch the car, once I touch this car, I own it. So any fuck up that's there, it's mine. It's not yours, not anybody else's. So make sure. Like people like me who's cleaning up after you is not making a video, and if you know this vehicle, you're going to be like, God damn, not him again. And a lot of people hate me out here because I tell my customers the truth, man. I'm not here with lies. I don't advertise. Everything's word by mouth. They see what I do, they like what I do, and that's it. My job is what I get paid for, and I make sure I do it 110%. Not 90%, not 50%, not 25%, 100%. They pay me to do the whole valve cover gasket. I'm not going to go and say an hour later, yeah, I did it. And yet the book is sitting right there and I never touched it, like a couple of shops that I know out here. So don't play with the customers. Be cool. Use the proper tools. Don't use pneumatic tools when you're putting things back down, especially if you strip it. Own up to it, man. Let the customer know, hey, I stripped this. If you come back, on a later date, I can come and, tap it out. On a later date, at least pacify the customer, make the customer feel, shit, you're trying to work with him, you're trying to do something. But don't lie to the customer and send him on his way. He pays his tab, and then later down, he probably went right down the road. As soon as he touched the street, the check engine light came on with PO 305, 303, and 301 immediately. Because that's not seated, that's not grounded. The screws are completely, messed up and mismatched. That doesn't even, hold on to the valve cover. So immediately, that whole bank is messed up. And not only that, but here's the flip side to this. Gas is going into these cylinders, being compressed and decompressed, being shot out through the manifold, going to the catalytic converter, and it's a 100% fuel to an oven. poof, explosion. Backfire this way, backfire that way, and you keep on going. And the only thing that doesn't stop, or the customer don't hear the backfire, is cylinder 2, 4, and 6 firing off. Pushing that air straight through, so that way, that gas, but he's basically polluting. So this is what you guys are doing. Be smart about it, man. Customer gas. Matter of fact, where I live at, up in Nicholas, California, gas is at $7.89 a gallon today. So think about how much that's costing you. Gas over here is $6.37 a gallon. Money, man, money. It's costing your customer money, and he's coming to you to repair something, and you doing this, and it's costing him much more. Don't do that. Don't do that. Anyway, it's Mike with Pacific Tech. Use the proper tools. When we give you proper tools, this is why we ask for hand tools at every shop. Come with basic hand tools. Everything else is just optional. Optional. Don't use that when you're doing this. Use hand tools. All right, Mike with Pacific Tech. I'm out. It's a 04 Kia Sorento. Kia Sorento. I'm not going to put the customer's plate, so that way whoever knows who did it don't retaliate. But please do it right, man. So that way customer is happy, and you want a happy customer. A happy customer is satisfied, and you're satisfied because he's going to come back to you. So do things right. If you have any questions, comments, leave them down below. If you need help with anything, leave also a comment down below. If I can get to it, I can get to it. I got thousands of videos that I got to upload, but I didn't get a chance to upload them because I'm a one-man army out here, and we're making bank while the shops are losing money because of stuff like that.